The last episode of Kaynichole After Dark.
Hello, Royals. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. We are in a different little setup tonight. And we're drinking water because we are detoxifying. So, because of those reasons, we're drinking water. Got a detox. Hey, what's going on? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, welcome. For those that are tuning in, thank you. Anybody that wants to see any past videos, definitely go check out the YouTube. They're all posted up there. So welcome. Damn, it's actually kind of hot out here. Anyway, how's everybody doing on this Wednesday? It's hump day. Middle of the week. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day celebrating all the veterans that we have lost. Also, going into June, celebration of the entire month. Well, it's Juneteenth, it's Pride Month, there's a lot going on. So I have a discount on my Always Keep Your Crown Straight Crown and Beard Oil that you can purchase on Etsy. You can go to AKYCS Instagram page and go there and place yourself an order, 20% off. So let's get into it. Let's not delay what the conversation about is tonight. So, I've been noticing that a lot of people that I've been associates with, friends with, are dealing with a lot of flux when it comes to relationships, whether it be because people don't know how to act right, or people are cheating, or people just don't know how to keep their dick in their pants or pussy to themselves. However it goes, people aren't doing what they're supposed to do in the relationship. So I ask you, right? Is it? My hair's been wrapped up all day. Is it best for people to separate and then come back at a later date? Or should they work on themselves during the relationship? What do y'all think? I'll give you a second. Y'all can share. Now the question is, do you feel that you need to can you work on stuff outside of the relationship or while you're still in it? Because like I said, I've been with a lot of my associates, friends, and people, I guess it's because summer's happening, people are starting to be disrespectful in their relationships. You know, I've just been seeing it. You know, people doing foul things to each other, whether it be online. Like I said, not holding up their end of responsibilities. They're just getting real lax and real comfortable in the relationship. And some people are just like, I need to work on me. This is not gonna work for me. So where are y'all at? What do y'all think should be the case? Should a person work on themselves dolo, or work on themselves while in the relationship? Okay. Well, clearly no one has any thoughts, so I'm going to share mine, of course, right? So I'll give you some scenarios, okay? Because I do believe that there are times when you need to work on yourself by yourself, and where you can work on yourself with your partner. That's going to require more work, but it's like, if you're game, if you're up to it, then, you know, why not? Iso Sono Daja Di Loro says, when you love somebody, you lose your head and you making stupid stuff. Well, you can. But I noticed that, oh goodness, the blinds and stuff are open. These bugs are going to be coming out. Anyway, for instance, right? when I was in a relationship, I was dating a guy that was having a lot of issues financially, right? He was having a difficult time trying to keep a job. I think that it had a lot to do with expectations, of what you expected your job to be and everything like that. Because so we had moved to a different state, and they had to just get a job, like get any kind of job, like we had to work, and they picked up a job where, damn, they picked up a job where they had to work on commission. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but if you have to bring in an income, working a commission-based job is not it. Okay? You're going to have to do real work. And I think that the transition for him was like kind of a shocking one. So it was like, you know what? Where he could always pick up and leave a job. It's like, okay, well, you have another person that you got to think of. So you either have to hold on to this job, make it work, or something like that. And I think that when a person has financial issues, oftentimes, if they need to work on those by themselves. That's just personally me. I believe if you're already in a relationship and you're struggling with finances, then that person can help you. But if you are really like struggling money management, you are not able to be truthful about your budget and your finances, then you need to be by yourself. You have to have transparency. And a person that doesn't want to be like, I'm going to cut down on shopping, or I'm going to do different things, then they need to be by themselves, because that other person's going to have to pick up that slack. And since they know that person's going to do that, because if you have somebody that you love and care about, you don't want to see them fall. You don't want to see them crash and burn or anything of that nature. So what are you going to do? You're going to pick up the slack. And then they're going to get comfortable with you picking up the slack, and they're not going to do what they need to do for their financial selves. So, I mean, it's a scenario. I'm not saying this can happen with everybody, but a lot of times human nature comes into play where, we become comfortable. And a lot of people get comfortable in relationships, and that's when a lot of them break down, because you can never get too comfortable in a relationship. And I realized that as I talk to other people and see that you got to keep on doing the things that brought that person to you in the first place. You cannot get so lackadaisical where you're like, where you used to, say you're a woman, you used to cook these lavish meals for him, every Saturday or something like that. And then you just cut out doing that. You stop cooking these lavish meals every Saturday. And that's something that he was looking forward to. Like, when you're consistent, you can't break that consistency, once you're like in the relationship and you're chilling and everything like that. Yes, everybody, wants to have a day off, right? There's nothing wrong with having a day off, but you got to still be consistent. Even when you're having a day off, like, babe, I don't feel like cooking this Saturday. I know I cook for you all the time, but you know what? We're going to do takeout tonight. Hey, welcome. For those that are coming in, thank you for joining us for Kaynichole After Dark. If you want to see past episodes, they are on YouTube. They're in my bio, so you can definitely click the link and check it out. Also, always keep your crown straight. Hair oil is now 20% off going forward for the month of June. All you have to do is put in June 23, and you can get your discount at checkout. So definitely check out the hair oil. Again, it's all natural and it's amazing. And as you can see, it's growth, baby. Like, growth. I mean, yes, my hair is going to grow regardless because I'm alive and it's not dead, but it's substantial amount of growth that's going on in here. So it's already becoming another forest. And yeah, so if you have an opportunity to check out my hair oil and the beard oil, definitely check it out, because You see this hair? Like by the summertime, it's gonna be crazy. So definitely check out my crown and beard oil. But thank you again for tuning into Kaynichole After Dark. So back to the discussion. Thank you. Thank you for saying that my locks are looking beautiful. I appreciate that. Been working hard on it. So yeah, so thank you. So okay, so those are times when I think that a person should be working on themselves by themselves, okay? Because they're going to be looking for somebody to enable their behavior, right? And that's not going to work in a relationship, you know? I mean, it could work, but who wants to be in a relationship when you're enabling somebody and all of that? Y'all should be on an even keel and be helping each other out, right? So where you can work together, right? Now, I recently talked to a friend that was dealing with a breakup. She was breaking up with her guy because basically he was saying that he couldn't be the man that she wanted him to be. Now, did he love her? I'm hoping he did. Did she love him? I know she did. So she kept on trying to get him to step up, you know, and be what she needed him to be. And the thing is, like, a lot of my friends, my core group of friends, we really believe in second and third chances. Excuse me. We believe in second and third chances. So I'm sure she was like trying to talk him through it, how to be a good boyfriend, everything like that. And she's also a teacher. So, you know, when we come from an educational background, we're like, we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you with this, right? But thank you. Yeah, sneezing, allergy. Well, I don't suffer from allergies, so sometimes it just crawled up my nose and made me sneeze. But anyway, Big Dick Daddy. Okay. Thank you for joining the live. So where she felt like he wasn't stepping up, right? He had a particular love language that he followed, and she had several other love languages, and he wasn't feeding into that love language, right? So she got tired. And she was like, well, what is going on? Do you want to be with me, or do you not want to be with me? Because he started basically backing away from the relationship. And she personally tells me that she feels that they could have worked together on it. And I was like, you know, kind of curious, like how would you have worked on this relationship together? And she's like, we could have read the 5 love languages. We could have gone to counseling together. We could have, you know, done, like, she was just naming things in the realm of like counseling and getting educated by more knowledgeable people. And I feel that would have worked if he was on the same page as her. Now, that's the only way that I believe that two people can work through their issues together, is if they really want to. And they see that they want to put forth an effort, you know, because that they see that the relationship is worth something. And I feel that a lot of times these days that people are not willing to put forth that much energy into the relationship unless they've already put time in. Like, I see people that have put 4, 5, and 6 years in, and when it starts to go a little rough, they're like, I'm willing to, I don't want to throw away this investment, right? I'm willing to work at it. But people do not have that same energy, right, when they've dated for like a year or 2 years. And I think, awesome, I have Bird Images Photography come on live, and he is a happily married man. So you tell me, Mr. Brody, Jay, how do you feel, or if you could even type it, I don't know if you have time or the energy to type it, but that the two have to want to work at the relationship to be able, because you can work through your issues together, right? You just both have to want it. What would you say, like, about a person that's dealing with their own personal issue within a relationship, and they're saying maybe they want to leave or whatever case might be? What are your thoughts? Because I personally, like I'm sharing with everyone here, I believe that there's certain issues that couples can work through together, as long as they have the energy to want to go through them. But like I said, there's certain issues that you don't want to go through with somebody, because you can easily be an enabler. I don't, and to each his own. To each his own. I work in substance abuse, right? And there are a lot of couples that are dealing with, the one family member's an alcoholic, or they're addicted to opiates or barbiturates or whatever the case might be, that they have some kind of addiction. And oftentimes you want to be there with your partner, but a lot of the times you already have put that toxic energy and have built a certain framework that's not going to work. And a lot of times that's why so many people divorce. Well, what's funny is they usually divorce like after the person's gotten better, because they're used to this toxic behavior and everything like that. So I sometimes, so in many instances, it's best when you're dealing with something severe that can affect another person's life so severely, that you work on that alone and come back to them. Like I said, not everybody might agree, but when it comes to addiction, especially, where, like I said, the relationship usually ends once the person has gotten better, because they've gotten into their role. They're either enabler, they're they've had some role within this dysfunction, and it's not working for them anymore. They're used to that dysfunction, and they have to, that's why they encourage everybody to go to counseling when one family member has an issue, because it does affect everybody. But not trying to get off topic. Does anybody else have anything they want to share about the topic? No? So I have a few gentlemen on here. So how do y'all feel about working with the female in the relationship? Do you feel that issues are best resolved, your own personal issues are best resolved outside of the relationship? Or do you feel like you can work with them in the relationship? Any kind of feedback? Because, like I said, I feel that it depends on the particular issue. And how hard that person wants to work in the relationship. I don't know, I was just watching something recently, and I really hope that people are not that lazy, or looking for the person to fill all the things that they're lacking, right? I had seen recently in a reel that it was, the woman was looking for the man to fulfill all the places where she lacked. Like, she didn't have a great paying job, so she wanted the husband to have a great paying job. She didn't have a car, she wanted the man to have a car. She lived with her friends, she wanted him to be live alone and by himself. And I don't know, I've always thought that was like ridiculous, how people had expectations of someone that they didn't even have themselves. And I think that's a big problem moving forward. I don't know if it's just in the Black community, because that's what they're procreating, but I'm just saying in any community where you're dating, you guys should try to be evenly yoked. and where y'all have the same. Because I just feel like a person can get easily used and abused when they're not on the same level, you know. Like, for instance, you know, me personally, I feel like if I have a car, then my guy should have a car. Like, because me, and this was something that I had to deal with myself, and I thought that it was just ridiculous. I think I shouldn't have to deal with that. Which was, I was dating this guy, and he didn't have his license, right? He had lost his license because he had gotten into a really bad accident, got a lot of fines and stuff like that, didn't pay for it, and he lost his license because of that. And I was on a trip one time with him, and I was driving. It was a decent trip. It was a decent trip, and I was actually quite tired, and we had to stop at a hotel. But he was like, "Oh, I can drive your car. You know, you don't have to worry." And I was like, "No, you cannot drive my vehicle. If something happens or whatever the case might be, you don't even have a car, so it's not like you have the insurance to even cover it. You know, like, nah." So, I mean, yes, that's my decision. Some people would have not even cared and been like, "Oh, yeah, you drive without a license," you know, because people let people do that all the time. But no, I'm not risking that. And I feel like people are quick to have you lose shit because, say you got into an accident, whatever case might be, that would have affected me because I'm the one that has the car. I'm the one that's driving. He doesn't have a vehicle. And they okay? Yeah. Are you so you're in the office? Okay. If you want to take Denver, you're more than welcome. Sorry. Because I thought I left the window open. You did. I was going to tell you, make sure you close it. Mm-hmm. All right. But if you want to take Denver, you can. I don't know if he's going to move. Okay. Is he in it? In your picture? No. Okay. Are you in it or you're in your podcast? Yes. So. Okay. So, yeah. For those that have just came in, thank you for joining Kaynichole After Dark. If you haven't seen our past episodes, you're more than welcome to watch them on the YouTube page. Definitely check out the Crown and Beard oil, which is on sale for the entire month of June. And on this type of conversation, I didn't have a list of topics because I was under the weather. But one topic is, can you work on your issues by yourself? Or do you need someone to have them with you? No one has shared their thoughts, so I have shared mine, that I believe that there are certain issues that you can work out as a couple and certain issues that you need to say, let me separate from you and fix myself. And if you're still available, then let me go there, because I am a believer of right person, wrong time. Because everybody's on a different, no one is on the same level. Everybody is on a different path. And somehow people may not, their lines just might not cross. They just might be just going like this, and you just gotta see down the road that your roads cross and you'll be able to be together. But again, talking about relationships, where was I? Being comfortable. I believe I was saying being comfortable in the relationship. Because this has been, like I said, I've been talking to a lot of friends about the breakdowns of relationships as of lately. And it has been one of them that I'm talking about is that people are having their concerns, their issues, and they feel like they can't work with the other person, which, again, I feel like depending on what it is, you should be able to go to counseling. You should be able to work it through. I don't know. I've had this thing that love conquers all, and I know that that's not necessarily true. But I have that romantic belief that love will conquer all. So we'll see. My love story hasn't been completely written yet, so we're still finding out. Maybe when I come down the road, we will tell you no. All a fallacy. But until then, we are still going to think positively about romance, and that you'll, even though y'all know them, y'all can't really work until down the line. So I had spoken to another, I'm going to say a friend, because they're a friend / associate, but they were talking to me about something they had seen on TikTok, and about how they were able to get certain females. And a lot of my friends are dudes. That's why, again, I do have a skewed way of thinking. Because I've been, like I said, I've been with the homies, and I've heard about how they talk about women. So there's just certain things that I can't ever see myself doing or talking about or whatever, because I just know that the light that it's going to shine me in is just going to be negative, and all around negative. So he was telling me about how there are tactics out here that men use to make a woman feel less valued, so they can bed them, right? And he said that he used to do all of these things when he was younger. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining Kaynichole After Dark. So the first thing was telling a woman, yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool to join your live sometime. Definitely. Just, DM me. Keep me posted. That'd be awesome. The first part was to not tell her that she's beautiful, right? So if you are left to have a female think that she's just mediocre, that it's easier to bet her, right? Because if she thinks she's a 10 and she thinks that you're a 7, then the likelihood of her sleeping with you is low. But if you make her feel like she's a 6 and you're a 7, then most likely you'll be able to sleep with her, right? It also had not complimenting her, right? So if you don't compliment a female, you'll lower her self-esteem so that you can get away with certain things. They were also saying about, actually, they discussed performing oral sex. Like, if you never perform oral sex on your female, how that can lead her to feel some way sexually about herself, and the likelihood of her cheating or doing something else is lowered. And I just feel that a lot of times, and I'm going to say women in particular, because I don't think men do this too much. I mean, I think that even though society has been made to like beat up and tear down the black man, I feel that in some way he's still able to keep his ego somehow intact. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that the black man has an easier way of keeping his ego intact versus the female, because females, we do not have, as much as we try to say it and share it. And I mean, there are individual females that do feel this way, but a lot of females do not have this togetherness that we speak of. So we tear down each other, and then if you have a man that's also tearing you down, how do you see your value? How do you feel about yourself at that point in time? And that can allow someone's psyche to think very lowly of themselves, so that they, again, don't have much self-worth, self-value, and anybody can potentially sleep with them and have sex with them because they no longer see the value in themselves. And I do see that would be easier with women, because we as a whole put so much on the value of beauty. We put so much on aesthetics. not just like the beauty, but like what you have on you. You know, if you have Givenchy, if you have, you know, if you're wearing Fashion Nova, like all this other stuff, you know, and then just how women compare themselves, right? So, and also how they see their men looking at certain things, because that's a part of it too. You know, if you're saying, oh, I love natural bodied women, but yet your Instagram or your following is with women that have had their bodies done, then most likely your female's not going to believe that you like natural bodies. She's going to believe that you want her body to be built in a certain fashion, and that is what it's going to be, right? And anybody can, because if y'all remember the relationship guru Derek Jackson, right? I don't even hear about him anymore, really, since he divorced from his wife, right? And she had on the whole bonnet of salvation, and everybody was clowning her because she had a bonnet on, and this, that, and third. I think I even did a little funny thing about it, about her bonnet. And we learned that Derek Jackson was a married man giving women relationship advice, and he was cheating and doing all these things. Like, a lot of women didn't even know that he was married and he had kids, because he was constantly doing these relationship guru videos out of his car, right? And making his wife feel less than. And they were married for like 20 some odd years. And the thing is that she was so disillusioned that she never even filed for divorce. He divorced her. Like, after cheating and everything like that, she stood by him and he divorced her. And now she's left to pick up the pieces and to rebuild herself. And I just feel like and I'm talking from women, because like I said, that the fragility of their ego and psyche in society. Like I said, if a man has a point and wants to share about the fragility of the male psyche, please do not hesitate to get on the live. I'm always welcome to having a conversation. This is what this is about. Us having a conversation and being able to build and, like I said, come together as a Black community, because I'm all about Black love. I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. We have to work together, and rebuilding our households, right? Because the more I learn and even do my own personal research, like, yes, a lot of it stems from back in slavery during the 1950s and so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, we have to start taking accountability. We can't always go back to, oh, well, it's because the slave masters separated our families and stuff like that. Yes, that's always going to be a part of our history. Yes, it does take a place, but at some point in time, we got to take accountability and say, how are we going to change those generational curses? How are we going to make sure that we keep our families tight, And that starts with honest and open communication. It starts with having counseling. It's shedding our egos. It's a lot of work. And the thing is that are people really wanting to do the work in relationships now? Because I realize, right, that in the conversation that I've had with you guys, it's about doing the work and recognizing the work. And I honestly feel that nowadays people aren't really like testing themselves, tried and true testing themselves to say, you know what, I got what it takes to put forth into a relationship. I think that people are now so concerned and worried about being alone that they are not really saying, what do I have to offer in this relationship? What do I have to give? What do I have to bring to the table? Because it's good. You know what? Actually, someone asked me this tonight, actually. about why would, even though I enjoy the single life, why do I want to be in a relationship, right? And that's a fabulous question, because some people are in relationships because of what they want to gain, of what they want to get, you know? And so, I mean, I told them honestly that I want a relationship and a marriage and family, so I can be able to have somebody that I can trust completely, that I can pour into, that someone can pour into me. It's nothing like having somebody that you can share your entire day with. So yes, it's, you know, it's about really putting forth the work, and everybody that's in the relationship has to put in the work. Even if like you were in a like polyamorous relationship, everybody has to do the work that's to make the relationship function. No one person can put in the work, because it's not gonna, it takes two. It definitely takes two, and you have to put that out there, why you're in this relationship. What did you hope to gain from it? Sometimes, you know, I'm not against people doing a checklist. Like after 2-3 years, you know, checking in, like, do you still want this relationship? Why do you still want this relationship? What do you gain from this relationship? What do you feel could change from this relationship? I don't know. Personally, I don't feel people do enough check-ins. I don't feel people do enough check-ins. And that is something that I am strangely crazy about checking in. Like, you want to know what's going on with that other person in your relationship. How are they feeling? Because we spend a good majority, even in a relationship, right? You spend a majority of your time outside in the world, right? At your job, working with whoever, being around whoever, right? So it takes work and due diligence to come back to that person and be like, this is my day, you know? And making sure that you share, you know, implicitly what your day was. Like, okay, you know, I did this, I did that, or not even about what you did, but how you felt about your day, you know? This person was getting on my nerves, I got along with that person, you know? You have to do a recap. A relationship is not what we see in the movies. You're right. You can't check in with a liar, because they're not gonna be honest with you. But it's about continuously letting them know that this is a safe space for them to be able to share what's going on with them. And if they don't feel it's a safe space, then there's nothing else you can do, because then they just don't feel safe with you, and then you just have to let the relationship go, because you have to have trust. You have to have trust. Like, that is the foundation. This is the foundation. And a lot of times we have to regain that with people, right? A lot of times what's it saying? Jerry, I will call you after this. So, but yeah, you know, it's really about everybody just being real, you know, and to be real with each other is to say what is going on with you. And that's part of checking in and saying, you know what, I can deal with this relationship for us together, or no, I have to work on this relationship. I have to work on me outside of this relationship. Because a lot of people do have to do that, you know. Not everybody can work on themselves while they're in the relationship, because you have to then focus on the other person, right? You have to prioritize your focuses and how you're going to work on yourself, and what does that look like. And I think a lot of people don't even know first how to work on themselves. Um, but I know that it takes it takes due diligence, it takes perseverance, it takes having somebody to mentor you. Because you have to know where you're going to have to do the work on yourself. You have to know where you're going. And I don't think a lot of times people know exactly where they're going, like in life, like where they see themselves. And so for people, and I just say that's for like this, like a small community, like for modeling, right? If you want to be a model, you have to have someone to look up to. You can't say, oh, I just want to model and just do whatever, because you'll end up in the business floundering around just doing everything and not growing, possibly not making any money, whatever the case might be. So you have to find someone like, oh, you know what? I want to be like Naomi Campbell. How do I work towards that? I want to be like Tyson Beckford. I want to work towards that. So you can say kind of how you want your relationship to look. Like, I want, like, for instance, we can't say, of course, right? Because we don't know anything about celebrities' relationships or anything like that. We can't say, oh, I want to marry like Michelle and Barack Obama. We have no idea what their relationship is. But we can say that I want to have a relationship that has respect. I want a relationship that has a lot of laughter. I want a relationship that has a lot of sex, right? However you want it to look like, and y'all both work on it together. Like I said, I only feel when it comes to addictions, really, that a person should work on themselves alone, because the whole family needs time. The whole family needs time to come out of that cycle and be able to breathe and relearn, right? Because like I said previously, that most people that have addiction in the family or whatever, they break up. The parents, whatever, they break up because they're so used to this toxic cycle that once the addicted person is better, they don't know how to handle it, right? So I would say in times like that, it's best to be able to, separate and do your own thing and say, you know what, let's come back at a later time. Because like I said, I do believe in right person, wrong time. Fantilla says, cool, I hear you. I'm going back to living like a pimp. And the model says, so insightful. Thank you. Be More Rap Review says, I want a relationship with a woman that has Kaynichole spirit. Thank you. But no, but I'm being completely truthful. That you have to know the reasons why you're in a relationship and to continue to look at those. Are you still working on those things? Are those things still important to you? Like I said, someone asked me, why do I want to be in a relationship and not be single? And I said, because I want to pour into somebody that's pouring into me. I want to be able to come home to somebody and tell them all about my day and be close and, feel their warmth and just, there's just something about somebody loving you. Yes. Gosh, what? I don't like you. Don't lick me. Don't lick my leg. Gosh. Everybody wants to be loved. Okay? Everybody wants to be cared about and honored and everything like that. What's your zodiac? I'm a Cancer. I am a Taurus. I am a happily May Taurus. My month just ended, but I celebrate the whole month of May. So yes, if y'all, for those that are still here, want to celebrate me, cash at me $5 for the end of the May. Birthday month is officially over. Stop it. You're being annoying. You can leave now. You can go. Stop licking me. Go. Okay, so this is what I have to deal with. Okay, Fanto Photo says, okay, so you're saying you love me. Okay, cool. Of course I love you, Jerry. What did I do for my birthday? I was out the country, and I've just been celebrating as much as possible. So, yeah. Good times had by all. Now that dog. Oh my gosh. So this is how this is going to be for the rest of the... Stop it. So, yeah, my dog's going to beat me up for the remainder of this time. Yes, move. Leave. Thank goodness. Dogs, I tell you. So yeah, like I said, I didn't have a planned out topic sheet like I usually do, but I wanted to come and talk about the things that were on my mind. And knowing whether to build with each other or build separately is something that we have to know in relationships. We have to be able to know about ourselves. We also have to know about ourselves why we entered into the relationship. You know? Thank you. And well, I don't know. I don't know if my dog is more spoiled or if Denver is more spoiled. But either way, these dogs. And lastly, about not being too comfortable, right? So like I was saying, in a relationship, you never want to be too comfortable, because that can cause the relationship to dissipate as well. Okay. You always want to be doing things fresh and exciting. Comparability. Yes. I mean, you definitely want to be compatible. Yeah, you definitely want to be compatible with the person. You know, like I said, you often want to be evenly yoked, you know, and that's kind of having the similar background, you know, even having a religious faith, you know, like I was watching, and I know possibly not too many people watch this, but I like to watch matchmaking shows. So on Netflix, I watch Indian Matchmaker. Don't know who else watches it, but I watch it and I enjoy the fuck out of it. And they're able to have these relationships work after just meeting each other because they have a common thread. And the common thread is their culture and their heritage. So they're like, oh, I want to talk to somebody from Bengali, or I want to speak to somebody that's Punjabi, or I want to speak to somebody that's from, I did Bengali already. What other Indian? Gupta, right? So, they have a commonality. They already have a bond that they're building from. Okay, and it's like if you have at least a foundation, and their foundation is their heritage that they can build from there. So you want to have a foundation of some sort, and that's why my foundation personally that I have is a biblical foundation. That's where I start my thinking, right? That the man is the head, I am the neck, I am his helpmate, and I go from there, from my own wisdom, and be able to start. Because if I came from any other point of thinking, I could be too aggressive, you know. And black women, honestly, we're already aggressive because of the things that we have to go through, you know. And actually, I saw that recently, and they were saying that black women are hyper masculine or aggressive because of the trauma response. And more than likely it is because we've had to be tough, you know, in a neighborhood, in a society that's not too kind. And the model says faith is definitely important. Spirituality, definitely. I watched it. the sermons all the time and worship music. Yeah, you know, it's about what you pour into yourself. And I think that we can listen and have fun with the ratchet music, listening to, you know, Suki Hana, Meg Thee Stallion, you know, Cardi B, but you can't constantly play that in your ear. You can have fun with it, you can listen to it, but you can't constantly have that in your ear because that will dictate how you see things. Like, I would hate to meet my partner and that really be the man for me, and I'm only talking about a Birkin bag and what he can give me and everything like that. And he's like, I'm trying to help us build a life together. I'm trying to help us have generational wealth, and you're talking about a Birkin bag. Like, make it make sense. And that's where I come from, you know, like a make it make sense mentality. So you got to know why you're getting why you're getting yourself into the relationship, and constantly working on yourself while you're in it. And if you're not ready to be in a relationship, you continue to work on yourself until you're ready, you know, because, yeah, everything has its season. Everything has a season and its time. So, and so this generation is very user friendly, unfortunately. It is. And it's unfortunate that we're like that. And, you know, that's why I'm here, because I'm having about having a giving spirit, you know, to be able to help, because I want us to have long lasting relationships. I want us to come out better than we have in many years. You know, I want, like, picture wise, all of our families to be like the Barack and Michelle Obamas. Like, there's not a family that doesn't have that. You know, we all have the love, we have the trust, we have the nurturing on both sides, you know? And I mean, I know it's idealistic, but I feel that we can get to that, you know? We show our children how to love, you know? That mommy loves daddy in certain ways, like, you know? The same way you learn to, like, hit somebody and everything like that, and kids learn to hit, is the same way you can learn to kiss and love, you know, and I just feel like we need to have a little bit more of that. And to Miles, it's important to find someone without any hidden motives or agendas, period. Yeah. And that takes work. That takes work, and that takes asking the right questions, and that's why you should court. And that's why it's important to court. And those that don't know what courting is, definitely check out my last videos, which talks about the difference between courting and dating, because there's a big difference between the two. Not many people acknowledge it, but there's a big difference between dating and courting. And for both, I feel like you should be intentional. I don't think that people are. You have to grow up, and I think that we're in certain ways we're growing up really fast, and in other ways we're growing really slow, because I think that nowadays, like, we're growing in technology. Like, kids are becoming so smart in how to invest and how to do certain things, but when it comes to, I guess, love languages and how to treat each other, we're still lacking. We're still learning in those areas, and I feel like we just need to do better. What's my time check? 10:55. Okay, so I have a few more minutes. Thank you. My battery is dying too. Thank you for appreciating my transparency. Because that's my goal. That's what I want here. To try to be an open book, and the times that I can't be, it makes me reflect and look at myself and say, why can't I be open and honest about this? Is there something about myself that I am still ashamed of, or, you know, whatever the case might be? Because, like I said, I'm still growing as well. You know, I'm not. I did a whole thing of Taurus, you know, and we like to be right? I wrote that Taurus, as a whole, we like to be right. And the thing is that I can acknowledge when I'm wrong, but it's like, how can I do better? How can I do better So since this is a flaw of mine, being emotionally intelligent, yeah, they call it emotional intelligence. And you know what? That just started to be a term because before it wasn't even a thing. Hello. Thank you for coming in to Kaynichole After Dark, where we talk about relationships and talk about how we can build together. If you have missed any of the episodes, you can definitely check them out on YouTube. And yeah, I only have like 3 more minutes left on here, so I'm actually going to bid you guys farewell early. Like I said, I am doing my detox or whatever case might be, so that's why there's no alcohol today. Tears. Wanted to drink today. I have so many wine bottles, but I'm just happy that I'm able to be with you guys this Wednesday, because last Wednesday I was out, so I had to do a real quick impromptu, but I'm glad that I was able to spend a full hour with you guys today. And next week I'll definitely have topics, because I don't like when I feel like I'm rambling. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't like being unprepared. But I just wanted to come to you guys and just share what was on my mind. And basically what was on my mind today was how we can build together, because I would like for us to be able to learn how to build together rather than breaking up and trying to work on our shit alone, because we need a sense of community, that never get too comfortable in your relationship, because comfort breeds, I'm going to say disrespect, because you just don't give it the same effort that you used to. So comfort can breed disrespect. And lastly, be intentional in your relationships. That is the last thing I'm going to say. Be intentional in all your relationships. Know why you're in them for a reason. Work relationships, dating relationships, friendships. Know what the purpose of it is. And do not get lost in that purpose. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kaynichole, and thank you for watching Kaynichole After Dark. You have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 10. Take care.